So the last video was all about the most complicated part of the project in creating a historical look inspired by Ariel. And the very next video, which is this video, is about the easiest part, and that's the small bustle that gets tied around the waist before you put on the petticoats. This is not a dramatic bustle like the 1880s or the 1700s Georgian split rump look. This is just a very subtle ruffled bustle. There were different types, but I'm choosing to do a ruffle type, and it's just subtle enough to slightly heighten the back of the skirts. And I found a historical pattern describing how this is made, and so let's get started on that. The pattern is a basic rectangle and is approximately 36 inches wide by 20 inches tall. By the way, I've linked where I've found this pattern. It's thanks to Abby Cox and is published in a guide from 1838. The short edges are hemmed, and then on each of the long edges, a hem is ironed in place. But the right sides of these hems are on opposite sides because it will eventually be folded in half like this, and you'll want both good sides of the hem to be facing out. I first turned over about a ½ inch and then an inch. Sandwiched in these hems, I'm now placing 3 rows of cotton cording. This now gets folded in half. Right now, the wrong sides of the hem are facing up. They'll be flipped around later. Based on the pattern, the top should measure about 7 inches, and then the next edge should be about 2½ inches below that. A line is then chalked 2 inches below the folded edge. At this line, and also a ½ inch below, seams are sewn, which creates a channel. Through this, a piece of linen or twill tape is inserted, long enough to go around your waist and tie. Once it's inserted at the center, I sewed through the channel and the tape, locking that center place in place. From there, you pull the tie and gather up the fabric, making sure to do it evenly on each side. Each side should measure about 4½ inches or 9 inches total. Once it's gathered, each edge of the channel is then sewn, again making sure that the tie is tacked in that seam because you don't want the bustle to ungather. From here, this is turned right sides out, so to speak. That 2 inches of folded edge is now in the middle and helps add extra volume to the overall bustle. It took some time to get all the gathers smooth around each other, but then from here, it's dipped in a starchy bath and let to dry. Now it's time to iron it all out and give it shape. So I got all the layers individually ironed, and then I gave it a spray of starch water, which helps soften the fabric for now so that I could easily shape the lower tier into some nice waves. And then I smoothed the inner and the top tier to match those curves. And now from here, I gave it a good steaming, some more starch, and left it to dry for a couple hours and harden back up. And voila, there it is, a subtle and easy part of this 1830s ensemble, adding just a slight poof to the back of the skirts. There you have it, one of the simplest pieces of this whole look. Not very time consuming, but I have to say very satisfying. I think the shaping and starching of it and getting it to like be really crisp in that shape is so neat. It's so satisfying because it actually stays. I got it starched enough that it actually is keeping shape. Now I did have it stored for a couple months and there were things on it and it kind of crushed it, but I simply sprayed more starch and water mixture, got it reshaped, steamed it, and now it's back to being correct. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons, YouTube members, and Instagram subscribers for the continued support. And again, exciting project coming to you all in the fall about New Zealand and Narnia and hobbits and all that. The little puppy has come to join. Hi. This is Mom's new puppy, Sylvie. She's very cute. She's very, very cute. Okay, but you're making noise. Yep, you pretty girl. Okay, lay down. Good girl.